have a cousin named Ron Holder.
Welcome back to my channel, Side Hustle Seattle. So today I'm actually here with John Holder, who is the Dean of Ron University, and also just a Ron in general. And so I wanted to get an interview with him. I actually had a chance to interview on his platform before, so go ahead and check that out if you haven't seen it. But he has some pretty exciting things going on with a lot of resources and educational material for people who are looking to do remote online notary work, like most of you who are watching this video, as well as some really exciting upcoming events that I want to make sure that you guys know of. So John, please introduce yourself, and then we'll get into all the exciting things that you have going on and how they can utilize your resources.
Thanks, Corinne. I appreciate it. Thanks for having me. It's noon, maybe morning where you are. So
yeah,
but it's all good. And yeah, a lot of things going on. I got into remote online notarization. Let me back up before that. I first got into the loan signing agent stuff with SnapDocs, and when they kind of started coming on board, and back in the early days there, I told my wife that, you know, this would be good grocery money and a little side hustle. And then it just started paying the car bill and the mortgage payment and everything else. And I was like, oh, okay, we can make some money like this. And it kind of took off. So in the back of my mind, I kind of noticed what Virginia was doing the whole time with electronic notarization and remote online notarization. It looked very interesting to me because one of the best pieces of advice my dad gave me that I never followed was that if I wanted to make money, I had to go where the money was to practice law. Well, I came back home and I live in northeastern Kentucky, and it took me a while to figure out what he was talking about. But that was kind of in the back of my mind when I saw this remote online notarization, because, you know, we market as notaries or as loan signing agents. You know, you might want general notary work, and you put your shingle out in the community, or you let people know with a Google My Business page or whatever. And then the loan signing agent side, we reach out to title companies and loan officers and mortgage brokers and that type of thing. But you're still kind of limited to maybe your area, your region, your community, or, you know, your state to some extent. So I started a statewide network because I kept getting jobs that I wanted to refer to other people. I couldn't cover the whole state, but, you know, I was like, well, here, I can find you some help. So we kind of put that together. It's neat in theory, and it's been a good domain to register and blog at. And it's got us some exposure, started a little podcast there, and got my name out there a little bit. So that's been neat. But like I said, in the back of my mind, remote online notarization, to me, I saw that as kind of the end game to all this. It's like, kind of down the road, this is the future of notarization, and this is where it's headed. And Virginia had it figured out early. And so I kind of kept my eye on it, and ordered the couple of books, ordered Melissa Johnson Eldridge's book, of course, and the Notarize book, and just kind of paid attention to it. And then in January of 2020, you know, several states were starting to approve Ron, and Kentucky was one of those that became legal in January. And I think I was on the horn with Secretary of State's office January 2nd, you know, as soon as the next business day. I was like, how do we do this? What do we do? How do we do this? And they were like, well, we're still trying to figure it out ourselves. And so they were kind of putting the process together and putting the regulations together. And it took a couple months for those to come out. So in submitting my application, getting that digital certificate to the Secretary of State took me, I think, 5 emails. You know, the lady was like, no, this isn't what we need. We needed this. I'm like, okay, let me try this. Okay. So the 5th and final time, I was like, you know, here. And she's like, yes, this is it. And she told me, you know, you're one of the first ones approved in Kentucky. So,
seriously,
you know, perseverance paid off a little bit there. But in the back of my mind, I thought, this would be good for my network members to have this knowledge and know, you know, what's going on with Ron, and I'd record some videos and share with them. And then I got to thinking, I was like, well, you know, it's not just Kentucky that needs this. Everybody kind of needs this. Everybody that has Ron legal in their state is kind of just starting out and wondering what to do. And your Secretary of State's office, as nice as those people are, they're not always great help. They don't, they just want to make sure it's legal. They want their,
Exactly.
the regulations written up, and you just got to play by the rules, and that's all they care about, really. That's their job. That's no problem. So, the part about getting signed up, and then what kind of equipment do I need, and how do I work this stuff? What do all these platforms look like? What kind of security do I need? What kind of marketing do I need? I saw a big need for that, and that's kind of what led to Ron University. I registered that domain, ronuniversity.com, and it took me a few months to feel like I was enough of an expert to offer, to promote my stuff as a course, because imposter syndrome is real. You can struggle with that. I don't want to put a bad product out there. I want to help people and enjoy that. And then the pricing of it was a little tricky. Started out with a beta price and a monthly fee, and everybody wants that monthly recurring subscription. But I got to thinking, nobody likes paying the monthly recurring subscription, and we kind of need access to it over our lifetime, because it's something you might want to come back to. Maybe you need to get started with it. Maybe you need to hit the security part of it. Maybe you need help with marketing or whatever, but it's not necessarily something you could do in 30 days. If
Of
you're,
course.
if you really don't have anything going on and you wanted to get it going, I say you could complete Ron U in 4 days or 4 weeks, but not 4 hours, is the way I always, and it certainly doesn't take 4 years, so so I put all that together, and it's been pretty well received. I've got over 100 students in there now, some really great people. I've issued one refund. One lady felt like I didn't, give what all I said I was going to give, and I was fine. That was, 100% satisfaction guaranteed. So that's when I felt a little more comfortable with it. Even it's like, okay, well, I had a refund, and life goes on. It's not the end of the world, and you're not going to please everybody. So I just put up as good a course as I could. Put some features in there that I thought would help people that would learn. Maybe some people are visual learners, they can watch the video. Well, I transcribe the video so you can read it, because some people like to highlight and print things out.
Of
And
course.
there's some different things where you can get a hold of me, and interact with the guest lecturer, such as yourself, and some of the other people that I've had on there. So that's what I've been trying to do with Ron University, is just trying to put some fresh content in there every month or so. Try to do that more often. And basically right now we're really kind of focusing on mostly the marketing side of it, is really what I want to help people
Of course.
figure out, because getting started, getting set up, a lot of people can do that, but then they get to the point like, well, where's all my clients?
Yeah.
It's like, okay,
Yeah.
where's the business? Well, that's a little tricky. That's a different story, and it depends on what platform you're going to use, and so there's just a lot of moving parts to Ron, and I've tried to cover it as best I could in Ron University. But then I think we want to talk about the event that I was going to put together too, right?
Yes. Yes. Before we get to the event, I have
All right,
like so many follow-up questions.
no
Okay. So
problem.
one, what percentage of the work that you do now, general notary work, loan signing work, is done via Ron now?
I would say, I mean, to be honest, just like 10%. I'm not a
10%.
full-time remote online notary. I
Why,
don't know
why is
anybody.
that?
It's Kentucky. It's
Yeah.
not here yet. I've
Yeah.
onboarded with Amrock and Rocket
Mhm.
Mortgage. So I'm ready for them. I've got an email from the closing exchange. I'm ready for them. Most of all the title companies, a lot of my realtors know, is just not here yet. It's
Yeah.
Kentucky. It takes a little while. Usually once people find out about the service and use it, they they think it's great. The realtors that I've had use it, the attorneys that I've had ask me for some favors, and getting some deeds recorded and some sellers transactions done. But I'm not a full-time remote online notary. I'd like to up that a little bit. The way I'd like to have it is about 50-50, because
Of course.
I don't want to be stuck here 8 hours, you know.
Yeah,
So
that's
I mean,
bad.
that's 4 hours would be great, but I enjoy my mobile notary stuff too. And I think there's still a place for that. And I think that anybody who's setting up kind of like a signing service business model or something, it's just, you know, we need to be able to do the mobile, the hybrid, the RON. We need to be able to kind of
Yeah,
go in between all three of those things. And you don't, you know, you just need to be able to offer what your clients need. And so right now, these refis and that rate, I mean, I'm still trying to close every refinance in Northeastern Kentucky. So there's still a lot of that going on. That um, I don't want to call it a bubble. I don't know enough. You know, I'm not a real estate expert. What goes up must come down. I
of
understand that
course.
it's going to slow down eventually, but right now, that's where I'm taking advantage of. And then the Ron thing, like every title company that I work direct for or something. I mean, I close every email with, let me know when you're ready to get help, you know, with Ron or ready to get started. Just
Of
let me
course.
know. So just kind of
Okay.
planting those seeds and laying the
Yeah.
foundation. Like I say, it's a long game to me. It's not a sprint. Um, Notarize isn't taking on anybody that I know of in the state. Amrock, like I said, I onboarded with them. I asked one of my buddies the other day, there was only like 6 of us in the class from Kentucky. And so I knew one of the fellows and I reached out to him. I said, how's it going? I said, you getting any of these? And he said, yeah, the first one took an hour and a half. I was like, okay, you can have those. I said, you
Yeah.
let me know when you get the kinks worked out and I'll pick up after that. So, you know, it's Kentucky, even though it's Nexus and Amrock, there's still a little bit of kinks to work out. You can have all the technology you want on your side, everything being smooth and smooth sailing, but on the other side, you know, that's the roll of the dice every time. We don't know what our clients are going to have or go through, and just trying to walk them through that and that type of thing. That's a little bit of the struggle, Ron, but I think finding your a good platform and you know, a good script, and then just knowing what you're doing, and then the troubleshooting aspects. If you'll witness some other remote online notaries, if you get a chance to witness somebody doing a power of attorney and sit in on somebody doing that, like I did with Christine Pardo, one of our guest lecturers, it was golden because I learned more in 20 minutes just watching her operate her platform and, you know, see what,
Mhm.
okay, she can't hear this guy, but she's going to call him on the cell phone or what, you know, there's ways of working around using the chat function and things of that nature. She just knew her way around the platform, and I saw how important that was. And just like anything else, it comes down to being a professional and giving good customer service. And then once people find out about it, I think, you know, they really enjoy it. So it's getting there. And, you know, it's
Yeah.
like I say, it's just a long game for me. And I see that percentage increasing a little bit every month. It just takes some time.
Of course. Is it realistic? So, people come into the Ron game, the Ron journey with a certain expectation, right? And the expectation is, like you said, you sign, you get the platform, you get everything set up. Now all of a sudden it's gonna be floodgates and clients are just gonna be drowning in clients. What is the realistic expectation? Somebody's like, yes, I want to be a Ron. What is the realistic expectation? Would you say about like how much Ron work they'll actually get and how much of that will actually have to be mobile? I guess the better question is it realistic to assume that somebody could be a full-time Ron if they're a signing agent?
I think it can be done. Christine Pardoka is doing it. Anybody who had really good title company connections as working direct, and I'd say those people are the most successful at kind of transferring over to like a full-time Ron gig and that type of thing. If they want to, you know,
Absolutely.
it's a matter of marketing. It's a matter of reaching out to all your contacts. Um, you know, attorneys are great prospects because there's so many pleadings and affidavits that they need. Estate attorneys need those. Divorce attorneys need them. Bankruptcy, you know, criminal law. Everybody has an affidavit that needs to be filed. So they have a convenient way to get that done, a quick way to get that done, and then, you know, something that's affordable and not, so pricey that they're not going to use you. So there's a lot of balance there that needs to get struck. But I think it's a matter of marketing and reaching out to your contacts and probably the real estate aspect of it is going to be your best bet to go full-time, Ron. Now, and then again, there's different platforms. You've got Notarize and Notary Cam and some of those that'll hire you as a W-2 employee, and you sit there and wait for clients to come from their marketplace or whatever. They bring you the clients. But a lot of people that get set up as a remote online notary, they're like, oh, well, where's the clients? I'm like,
Yeah.
it's no different than general notary work or loan signing. You have to
It's true.
market, you have to blog. That's something that it's easy to say, but it's not hard,
Not easy.
it's not easy to do because
Yeah, I agree.
it takes courage to push publish, and it takes time. You don't want to put crappy material out, but if you'll do it on a fairly consistent basis, consistent will be great. I need to follow my own recommendations, but I've done enough to where you put a page up on remote online notarization, you put 2 or 3 blog posts up, you put it in your social media, you reach out with your email campaigns and that type of thing. I think you'll generate some interest, and then also Google will start noticing you, and you'll start climbing up the rankings. So if you search Kentucky remote online notary, the first page, well, not number 1, but we're in the mix, and we're on that first page, and a lot of the other companies are national companies, or your Secretary of State or somebody who might not be able to offer the service. So it kind of looks like we're the only one that can do it. So my 1-800 numbers, I get, there's times I groan when it rings, to be honest. It's like, oh no, what now? But you never know when it's going to ring. I say I'm 24/7, so I try to answer it. I had a very fortuitous phone call at 11:30 on a Sunday night. I'll tell that story. I'll save that for the upcoming event we're going to talk about. But you just never know. The key is putting yourself out there, pushing publish, and just putting some good content out there, letting people know what your services are, and then they'll find you, because there's right now we're kind of on the ground floor of it a little bit, unless you're Virginia or one of these states that's had it for a few years. You can get in there and be one of the first couple of people in your state to figure it out and have a nice service.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I kind of to what you said, somebody I've interviewed in the past, Sean Caulfield, he's full-time, but he's with Notarize, right? And so it's like the platforms that you have also kind of determine it. But I think, like you said, the biggest misconception is like the marketing side of it, right? I think it's just, I don't know what it is about Ron work, or maybe how people are getting introduced to it, where they just think that it comes to you. But it's like, no, this is your business. Like, you are very much selling your services, and you have to act accordingly. But I want to make sure we go into the event, because this is super exciting. So break down, what do you have going on? It should be coming up in October, right?
Yes, mid-October. I've been saying this for a while. I've finally have my website together, where I'm going to unveil it this weekend. I've got a couple more pieces to put up. I'll go ahead and unveil it right now, but put together an online event, they said. That's a great idea. Yeah, that sounds like a great idea. What I wanted to do was answer the question, which Ron platforms should I use? And I put that in a plural form, platforms, not singular, because I think, if you're an independent notary, it's good to have more than one arrow in your quiver. You want different features from different platforms. So everybody wants to know, after they get approved, okay, now which is the best for an independent notary or just a notary in general? And that's the $64,000 question in our, in the Ron community. So in order to answer that, I had some friends that, some connections with some of the platforms, and I rounded up 3 or 4 of them, and I said, let's do an event where you guys demonstrate your platforms. We will all come together, kind of like a trade show, and we'll do a demo of a platform, and then we're going to do like a marketing presentation, or just a topic on remote online notarization. So I decided that it would be best over the course of a week if we did 5 topics a day. So Monday through Friday, starting October 11th at noon Eastern time. Actually, 11:45 will be the opening session, 11:45 a.m. on October 11th there, but we'll get the word out about all that stuff. But we're going to do an hour at a time. We're going to have 5 presentations each day, Monday through Friday. So there'll be a demo and then a presentation and then a demo and then a presentation. And we'll just keep going until we get to the end. And, Amy Seitz with Cyberize, it was one of the first ones that I connected with, and Guy Pearson at LiveNotary. Joshua Curry helped me with SignX. And so all these, Catherine Cabrera, name drop, I don't want to leave anybody out, Kendra Lewis, all these people that I've met over the course of Ron University and in my research and, just trying to figure out how to help my students. I've kind of called them together. I'm aiming for 13 platforms. We're really close. We might come in, I think it's going to be over 10 at least. So it'll be worth your while. 13 and 12 is 25. So that's what I was trying to do, 5 by 5. And then we've got some other companies coming in. Well, let me just tell you, Cyberize it, SignX, OneNotary, LiveNotary, Secured Signing, at Notarize, and Notarize. I got the big boys in there just the other day.
You got Notarized.
Yeah,
That's
so
impressive.
let's go.
That's impressive. Wow.
And the eNotary Seal is coming. Felicia Duncan Jones is coming. And then we've got 2 mystery platforms that are going to unveil that week. And that's just, I'm stoked about. I mean, it's really neat to be able to unveil news to, breaking news to the community and do it at this event. So it's going to be worth tuning into. We've got Notary Dash, Notary Assist. Identrust is going to help us figure out that
great.
digital certificate part and how to get that boy up to the Secretary of State. Ideology is coming.
Wow.
I've got Rick Palco is going to talk on social media. He's got Worldwide Media Solutions. He's going to tell us what to do on social media.
That's impressive.
Yeah, I've reached out to a lot of independent notaries that are going to present. Trace Johnson, Ashley Cunningham, Margie Kaplan, Aretha Hughes, Jim Allen. I'd like to have you there, Judy Lawrence, Deshauna Scott. There's a couple more that I am leaving out. One just the other day to Keisha Smith Robinson is going to come present. So we've got some really neat minds who've, that's what I say. I can call myself a Ron expert, but that doesn't mean I have it figured out by any means. I don't profess to know it all. I know enough to help you get started and help you get your questions answered. Now, these are the people that I like to pick their brains and find out what's going on with them. And I learn from them too. So that's what I've got going on. October 11th through the 15th, we're going to have some giveaways. We're going to have, a DJ. We're going to dance. Wow. I mean, we're going to have fun. We're going to let our hair. I don't have much hair to let down, but it's going to be a live event. And I want it to be serious, but I want us to have fun. I want us to share information. All the presenters and companies, it's kind of neat because they're competing against each other, but it's it's cordial and they're cooperative. I mean, it's not that they're not out for your account and your account only. Yeah, they're doing business or whatever. They're in it to attract you, but it's neat to see them come together for us and they kind of realize the struggles that we're going through because they're getting the same questions we are. And so we're going to answer a lot of those. We're going to have, live chat. So you can be able to type a question in. We can, we'll have a Q&A at the end of all these demos and presentations. And then I'm trying to arrange it to where we can have a little breakout room, 15-minute, networking sessions where we can break up into smaller groups and just kind of chat about what we just heard and how we're going to act on it and that type of thing. So I've got 2 weeks, I think, to get the word out on this bad boy. it's being hosted at notary.events. So if you go
Notary
there,
documents.
yeah, it's you'll register, and then I'm gonna, it's free, it's a free event, totally free. All the sessions are gonna be left up uh, for just about 24 hours. I mean, we'll go 12 to 5 each day. So when we go through Monday, I'll leave those sessions up until we start on the next Tuesday. I'm going to pull those down after that because there are some costs involved in putting this together.
Of
And
course.
in order to offset some of those costs, I will be selling an all access pass because, 5 hours, 5 days a week, that's 25 hours that not a whole lot of people have to sit around and watch YouTube
Uh-huh.
or Zoom meeting or whatever we're going to do on there. So we're going to put together an all access pass. It's affordably priced. And then it's also got a transcriptions option with it where you can get the written transcription and MP3 copy of the presentation, if you're listening, if you want to listen into your car, like a podcast deal or whatever. So it's got that. And then on the back end of the funnel, I think I tacked a coupon for Ron University. So,
Oh, nice.
it's free to register. You can stop right there. Don't need the all access pass or Ron U. If it'll kind of be like Ron U in a week, hopefully is what it's going to be like. But we'll leave access to that information up until the end of the year. And then I'll pull that down and just put it back into Ron University as my plans for that information. So, yeah, we've got a lot of neat people coming, and the last session on Friday, I want to end that with kind of a roundtable discussion where we'll invite independent notaries and CEOs from some of these companies and the signing services, and just kind of get everybody together. We'll crowdsource the questions for that session, where the Facebook group, and so we'll upvote some of those questions in there and try to have if we get to the end on Friday and you still don't have your questions answered, then you'll have one last chance to find out what you need to know. But I think by the time we get around to Friday, most of it will be, we'll have a lot of your questions answered, and then it'll just be neat to get everybody's different take on what the questions will be and how they market, and what security measures they recommend, and just whatever, be neat to see where Ron's going in their minds and see, where this thing's going to take us. So.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think it's rare, right, that you have all of the platforms, or those are some of the biggest platforms, right? Like I use like half of those platforms that you
Right.
just named, to have them all in one room, in one space, and have all of these different people to network and connect with. Like that, I feel like that's one of the things that's been missing, right, when it comes to remote online notary, which is why I think things like your side or things like my videos become popular, because there's this need for information that's not currently being fulfilled. So that's super exciting to put that together. Can't wait to be a part of it and also attend a lot of those sessions. But I'm excited about those new platforms. Unveiled. I love it.
Yeah, it's going to be neat. They're going to be both of them are going to have the independent notary in mind. So you're not going to have it's just going to be interesting.
Yeah.
Tune in. I'm not going to
Don't say
it's
too
going to be
much.
really neat. Yeah, really excited. You got some neat names that'll be involved in that, and a lot of people you already know, but you don't know that they have a platform to unveil. So it's really going to be a neat week. And that's what I thought is you could put all these together yourself if you had your calendar. Try to put 10, 11 demos together in the same week. You know what I mean? Just as an individual, it's not going to be easy. So that's what I thought is if we could do it on a large scale, and then everybody can sit there and compare. All right, here's what I liked about this one. Here's what I thought this one needed, or, wasn't particularly fond of this one or whatever. So I think it'll help people just compare what's out there, see how they're using it. What I'm trying to do is get a live demo. If they want to pre-record it, that's fine. I'm not going to stop them, but I'm asking them to bring a successful notary with them from their platform, so that you can kind of get their perspective too, and not just the company perspective. It's like,
Of course,
Okay,
yeah,
the
because
company's
yeah,
gonna say, we're
yeah,
great, you need us, and but the independent notary is gonna say, yeah, they're great, this is why, you know what I mean? This is why I like them. So we could, you know, hear their ideas and their thoughts and perspective on that. And I think it'll be pretty helpful to people. So I'm looking forward to hosting. It's scary. It's scary.
it'll
Be
be good. It'll
prepared,
be
be
great.
patient with me. I know there'll be some technical glitches and stuff, but we're going to try to have some run throughs and have all that stuff knocked out as you know, have it going as smooth as possible. So I'm a little freaked out, but we'll figure it out. It's not that big a deal.
You got this.
Yeah, we'll get it. Yeah.
You got this, John. Well, first of all, thank you so much
Yes,
for
ma'am.
being on this. I want to make sure I'm
Okay.
mindful of time because I did not pay for the upgraded package
I got you. I got
for
you.
Zoom, and they're like cutting me off.
You're fine.
So thank you again for announcing that. I will make sure I put all the information of Ron University and everything that they need to know in the description, and anything else that you want to make sure that they know in the description. So thank you so much again. And we will all see you at the event.
All right. Thank you. I'll be in
You're
touch,
welcome.
girl. Thank you.